Hello guys and welcome back to another Hotlap video. I am Presto, and in today's video we have a China. So this is probably one of my better tracks, as we can see, 70th in the world when recording. It's not too hard to get right. It's a weird track, but as long as you just stick to this video you should be okay. So just the usual, we'll have the Hotlap, we'll then break it down, get into the setup and play the video. So this was my best lap that I'd done. This lap we were doing was a 1 minute 30.1, so I knew there was a bit of time in it, but just going into the first corner, it's quite a tricky one here. You want to brake quite late when you're turning, but you just let the car slow it down itself. You use the brakes, but don't come down too quickly in the gears and you'll lose the rear. Short shifting a lot to get it into first, using the third gear as well, trying to get these corners as straight as possible, just to get the exit. So you can see that we're up right now, and then coming into the start of the second sector. Not a hard corner to get at this, but it's like a later apex. You want to hit it about just there, and then you get into second gear again, and that'll help with traction. And then again, short shifting, it really does help. Into the fast left-hander here. It's not completely flat, you maybe just a small lift, but keep it in sixth. I feel it helps. And then again, just use the car's downforce in the front of the car just to slow down. We missed the apex by quite a lot there, and we did lose a bit of time, but we did get not a bad exit out here, so it wasn't the worst part. Then coming into the start of sector 3, really late in the brakes, right at the 100 metre board. Keep it in second gear around here. I found it helped when you're coming to the right hander, it does slow the car down a bit. Again, short shifting, I usually go quite low here, and then let the car wash itself out. So sometimes it makes you gain time, sometimes people's setups don't work with that. But now you've got a big long, down the long straight. Again, opening DRS, using 8th gear again, because the straight's that long, you have to use it. Again, really light on the brakes here, but 100 metre board. Get the car right down, again into first just to get the rotation, and then quickly up to second again. And then short shifting as you come out the corners. Again to the final corner here, you have to really push it. Take a lot of curb. We just got it right there and up to line, and it was a 1 minute 30 flat. With a better lap we could probably get into the 29s, but I was happy with that one that we done. So here's the lap now, we're going to break it down. So as we see coming into to start the lap, you just have to keep an eye out for the 50 metre board. You see it there, and that's when you decide, that's when you want to start going off the throttle. But you bring it down, so we're not really using the brake. You can see we're using a bit of throttle just to try and make sure we can get the car right to the apex, but we're keeping it really tight. We're still not using the brakes. Into second gear, we've hardly used the brakes around that. That's what you need to do. It saves lockups, and keeping it tight helps. Then quickly into first, as you can see, it slows the car down, and then getting it into third. As we see, we try and make this line as straight as possible. That helps under traction, doesn't want the car to slide out. And then up to sixth, here we go. So into the second sector as well, again you want to be really light on the brakes here. As you can see, just about the 100 metre board, get the car right down, again into first, and that helps rotation. It helps get the rear out just a wee bit, and that just helps point the car in the right direction. A later apex, like I said, and that does help you get a good run. You don't want to go over that curb though, because you will lose a lot of traction. I say through the left hander, again we are flat, but maybe in a bit of rate and quality it might not be. Just depends if you've got a car in front of you, but if you lift off just a bit, it'll help. And then coming into the fast right hander, again you don't really want to use the brake, just use the gears, let that slow it down, but don't come down too quick or you will lose the rear. Now as you can see into this left hander here, like I say, I missed the apex this bit by at least a half a car length, so that lost me at least half a tenth. But we did get not a bad run through here. Again, just short shifting, getting into fifth to not let the car oversteer coming out. Into the sector 3, braking at the 100 metre board really light, get it into second gear here. You don't want to use first gear around here, because second gear is sufficient for the car. It doesn't want to lose the rear when you do that, but just keep it in second between that left and right hander, and then get into third once you come out the corner. Like I say, keeping it tight around here, but the car's always, it's not stable. As you can see, I'm making minor adjustments just to get the car trying to get onto the throttle completely. The earlier you can get on, the more you'll gain down the straight. But we're just down slightly on this lap, but just down the long back straight, just a waiting game. I think the second longest straight in the F1 calendar. And then braking at the 100 metre board, really late. Again, getting the car into first gear. As you can see, as we get to the apex, we put it back into second gear. We could go to third, but I keep it in the second. I think just helps you get that wee bit more momentum. And then into fourth. Again, last corner here, if you get a good day, you can see just where the shadow is, then brake. Take a lot of this curb. You can take a bit more than that, and that would have maybe helped me gain a wee bit of time to the line. But that is the Hotlap guide round here, and a 1 minute 30 point flat, so not too bad. Moving on to the setup that I used. So for wings, it was 4.7. I found that helped a lot more in the first and second sector. You lost a bit in the last, but maybe for the race you'd maybe want to bring that down to maybe 3.6 just to have a bit more pace. Transmission 50 and 60. Usually that helps, just gets the car around these slow speed corners without it really sliding. Suspension geometry, right, right, left, left. Just your standard time trial setup, and that works well for the race. Suspension, 4-3 in the front suspension, and then it goes to 3-11 for the anti-roll bars. 11 on the rear does help because you've got again quite a few slow speed corners, so it does help under acceleration. And 2-4 right height. Brakes, again, it's his personal preference, but I'm running 82 and 55. 82 does help because there's quite a lot of them where you've got to do a lot of trail braking. Some corners, well, you see, you don't really touch the brakes that much, so that helps. And then on to tyre pressure, 23.4 and 21.5. But again, bring that down to maybe 22.6 and 21.1 and you'll be fine. So guys, that's us for this week's Hot Lap guide. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that and hopefully picked up a few more tips. I'd like to thank everyone who's been tuning into these Hot Lap guides. The last two ones we've posted have had over 100 views on it, so we really do appreciate all the support you've been giving it. I'm also going to put my channel in the description as well, as I post my league races from SLR, so you can also get tips from that as well. I've got my Australia one up, and I've got my Bahrain one, which will be coming up later on tonight. So thank you, and we'll see you next week for the track guide round at Baku.